Hello, Education 500. Hope you're having a great summer, had a great holiday. It's Dr. Allen. I'm just going to jump right in. I told you I'd try to keep these as straightforward as possible. So let's just go ahead and see what we have to do this week and get going. We do have, I think, 4 different texts this week. I think it's 4. It's 3 or 4. I'm pretty sure it's 4. But just to kind of go over everything, as you can see, we're going to focus on presentation software, video recording, and QR codes and Edpuzzle. I'm going to double check the syllabus because I did not do that right before to make sure everything lines up. And in case I have an error on there, I always default to the syllabus and I'll fix it. Just to make sure. Yep, I think we're on track there. So presentation of content, that's Nearpod. Edpuzzle, Flipgrid, and QR codes. We also have a discussion board that's going to be due this week, discussion 2, that's related to your readings. And you will pick one of these texts to do your blog review on. Just to kind of give you the heads up, everything that's been posted so far has been great. I'm recording this on Friday. Sorry, I'm looking at my calendar, which has not been switched over to July yet. I'm in my office. I'm recording this on Friday, the 7th of July. I'm going to try to get this out early to you. But everything so far has been great that's been posted. So let's just go ahead and dive right in. We're going to look at presentation software first. And I did want to give just a brief overview of everything. In case you're interested, keep hitting the same thing. When we go in here, as you can see, there's some presentation software. Let me say this. One, we all use PowerPoints. I don't have PowerPoint as part of this class because I'm assuming most people probably are pretty familiar with it. There are a lot of tools today, though, where you can actually kind of jazz up your PowerPoints and use formative assessments to kind of get instant feedback. Some people, if you've been a student, you may have actually seen this. Obviously, you are a student, so you've probably seen this, whether it was in your high school, middle school, or even college classes. There's a few different ones. I'm going to focus on one. I think that's the best way to do it for their summer class, but I do just want to make note. The ones we're going to look at we're going to look at Nearpod today. I do want to give a shout out, though, if you want to check them out, to Pear Deck, Powtoon, Symbola. I think I say that correct. I don't use that one too much. And Prezi. I will be the first to admit I'm a Nearpod guy. That's what I use. I've been using it for over 10 years. It's the one I'm most familiar with. I will say this with the presentation software. I think it is very, very important that, sorry, I'm looking for one thing here. Whoops, there it is. Sorry, I couldn't tell if my record's on. I was on a nice flow there. I'm going to reshare that. All right. Sorry. I have used Nearpod for many, many years. I enjoy it. I think, and I do actually enjoy it because it allows me to do some things that I normally couldn't do with just a basic PowerPoint. So instead of me babbling here, I'm going to go ahead and show you. Here's what you're going to have to do for Nearpod. You're going to have to come up with a few things. You're going to have to come up with a title for a lesson. You're going to have 9 slides in this Nearpod. That is not as daunting as it sounds. It's not too daunting anyway, but it's content oriented. If you are in a secondary content, you want to do something related to your content. If you're in elementary, I don't care what subject area you pick. You just need to do something content oriented. You're going to insert a poll, and you're actually going to do an open-ended question, and you're going to create a quiz in that. And apparently there was a little bit of a goof up when it transferred over. I'll fix those for you before I open that. But to do this, all you have to do is go to Nearpod. You should have a Google account now. So actually, I'm going to move my face over here. You should have a Google account, so you should be able to log in. But let me go ahead and log out, just so you know what we're looking at. Okay. You should come to a screen that looks like this. Here's the beauty of Nearpod, and actually we're not live, so I can't fully show this to you. But what you can do when you create your Nearpod, you can you'll get a code, and I'll show this to you here in a moment. You'll get a code, and your students who are on a device, they can either be on a phone. Of course, you can't see what I'm holding up. They can be on a phone. or they can be on laptops, they can be on iPads, anything like that, and they have the screen on there. So they're getting it and they can do polls, answer questions, and you can get good formative feedback. That's why I like this. Now here's the plus, and I said it isn't too bad with the 9 slides. I'm going to show you something. You can actually roll in PowerPoints in there. So I would recommend creating a PowerPoint first and transferring it over into the Nearpod, and I will show that to you here in one moment. I just think it's easier to do. You can make the slides directly in Nearpod. That is fine. But I just think it's easier because once you make the slide in Nearpod, you actually can't go back and edit it once you've saved it. You do it in a PowerPoint, you can kind of make changes and load it. I usually make a PowerPoint, load it, and then insert all the bells and whistles. Again, I'm hoping, I know I'm kind of babbling here a little bit, but I do want to just, I'll show you. And let's see if I have something here. Let me see if I can get something pulled up real quick. Yep, this will work perfect. I don't need anything too cute. I just need something to be able to load. Alrighty. Again, you can log in. You should be able to do it with your Google account. Also, there it is right there. I will say this before I kind of get too far into this. Don't, again, add anything. There are a lot of cool things in Nearpod that you can check out. I can show you, or you can swing by my office. Like you can do things where you can throw up like white, little sheets of paper, and it'll look like you're putting them on there. And things like that, like boom, 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 boom. Notepads are, you know what I'm talking about. Anyway, but well, let me show you. Again, like I told you, sometimes things are not always collaborative board. Like for example, this was a presentation we did in the history department, but as you can see, I inserted something like, what skills do history teachers need? Well, they'll go on there and they'll put little post-it notes. I couldn't spit that out on the clipboard, and they'll type it on their device and they'll start showing up. You can also do things where this is the content, but you can do open-ended questions and you can insert these in. So if your students have their device, you can answer this. And there are ways to do it where you can look at it. It can be an anonymous answers. You can have students' names. With all of this, in case I never say this, I was a big proponent. Students had to put their real names in there and definitely stress that. You know, people might be able to put some things that they think is funny, that are funny, but might not translate very well if your principal's walking through or something. Also, you can download the data and the questions, and I actually sometimes would use these as like class assignments and things like that. But you can see in there, there's a poll. We're going to insert all of those things. There's also 3D virtual realities where you can tour around. All types of cool stuff. But anyway, let me get out of this. Back to my lessons. So what do you need to do? All right, so you have to make a Nearpod. You're going to hit create. You're going to hit lesson. And as you can see, you can also make it in Google Slides and import it. But you're going to hit lesson, and you're going to come to a screen that looks like this. You can do a lot of different things. I right now would just say slide. Well, I'm sorry, let me say this. So you can see you can add different things. So you can add a slide. That's where you can just make like a PowerPoint slide. You can upload a PDF file, which you can definitely do. You can upload a PowerPoint. I would recommend doing one of these two, and I'll show you in here in a second. And then you can add all types of stuff. There's video, there's quizzes, there's draw it. Mine has a little more stuff. So when you do your free account, you might not have this. That's why I picked 3 specific things for you to add that I know you'll have with the free account. Time to Climb is very popular. That's the one where if you've ever watched The Price is Right, it looks like someone's going up a mountain and they have to answer questions. There's other ways to it too. There's like things with emojis and all, but there's pairs, there's fill in the blanks. There's a lot of bells and whistles. I would recommend fooling around with this, but here we go. Let's do this. I'm going to go back. As you can see, I've already got this. Let me save my PowerPoint. I usually like to save it as a PDF, so I'm just going to put this here. Save in. Sorry, I'm just making sure I have something up to date. This is the PowerPoint I have pulled up on my other screen you can't see, and I'm just converting it to a PDF. I always think things seem to work better as PDFs. That's just a me thing, nothing you have, anything you have to do. Okay. So what we're going to do is this. I think I should be able to, there it is. All right. I'm going to take the PowerPoint or the PDF and I'm going to drop it right here. I want to make them individual slides. And hopefully in a moment, we'll see all these slides come up. I'm going to hit OK. And they're processing. Still processing. Normally not processing this long. Once they come up, I'll show you what you have to do. But just to kind of sell Nearpod a little more. Like I say, I always liked it because when I taught, say, West Virginia history, I could ask something like, what are the 4 regions of West Virginia? And instead of having students write, they could just type it. Or, you know, if you want to do shared experiences, what are some places you went to in West Virginia? And with that Post-it note board, I can't believe I couldn't get the Post-it note out. You could just start throwing things up with students would react to it. There you go. And as you can see, the PowerPoint is here. It has a lot of information. But if you go here now, let's say I want to add something. I will cruise down here. There's videos you can add. There's a virtual field trip. I'm going to show you the virtual field trip. I don't really care what you add. I know I have 3 specific things. I just want to make sure you can add stuff. So let me just show you what the virtual field trip looks like. Let's do, and I'm going to select that one. You don't have to do this, but just to show you what it does. It's a cool feature. If you do use the virtual field trip, though, I will definitely make note of this. Have specific things that you want your students to look for in the virtual field trip, because if not, they'll just kind of goof around. Like if you have an iPad or a phone, you can like move it around like this and it will go around. If they're on like Chromebooks, they can scan and zoom in. I've had students find words that were on telephone poles or light posts that you probably don't want in class. This must have been a somewhat big one that it was loading. Oh, there it is. And what I would do is wherever I would want this put after a PowerPoint, it would be there. Let's say for instance, and just to show you what it looks like. As you can see, students can go and you can look at it, and there's tons of them in there. That's this. I'm going to cancel that. But what we need to do is this. So you're going to go in, and let's say you're going to do a poll. Well, there are discussions poll. I'm going to add this. It's going to come up and it's going to ask this for a question. My face again. Now, again, I'm not looking for anything to rest. No, more about can you use the tech. You can add answers. You can add audio. You can do all that. Let's save this. As you can see, it's down there. Now, this is definitely more of a reassessment or a thing. So let's go up. Let's keep going up. Again, you only need 9 slides. You do not need this, but I'm going to have that. I'm going to have it as my second. So that's how I open that. You can save it. I'm going to add a little more because we have more to do. I'm going to double check what else do I need. I need a poll. I need an open-ended question, and I need a quiz. So you'll just go in here, click this, go in, add a quiz. It doesn't have to be anything long. I just want to see that you can do it more than the quiz itself. But if you want to do a couple questions, that's fine. Which is China? Oh, where is China? Which continent is China? Sorry, trying to make sure I phrase it somewhat, so it makes sense. Oops. You can add more. America. And then if I want to add another question, which country border Russia, and you can have them do more than one, but let's just say that's all good. I'm happy with that. Oh, please. Oh, I didn't select the correct answer. It's Russia. Didn't select one here. Asia. Oop. I'll save it. Again, all you have to do is roll wherever you want it. And then finally, I think we said we had to have. And the question now we did the quiz, didn't we? Now we just need an open-ended question. So you go back up. With that. There they are. Collaborative board's pretty cool, like I say. I use it probably more than any. I don't know if it's part of the free account though. I do pay a little bit. I will say this also, usually sometimes a lot of school districts already have this. Country. Here, spell this is correctly. Just to kind of go on what I was saying there, a lot of times, a lot of school districts, counties, etc., have Nearpod accounts that you can access. There's countywide ones. They buy every teacher an account basically. We'll say this: if you ever leave your county, contact Nearpod so you can get your stuff rolled over into a new account or your own account. Because if not, you will lose it. That's one reason why I have my own. I like keeping it. But again, you can just move this wherever you want. We'll put it there. And just to preview it, to show you what the students will see. There's an open-ended question. Boom, pretty cool. And then, which country would you like? You most like to visit these? That's not really great, but that's right. We'll save it. And then I submit. And then there'll be a submit button. And then, as you see, it just cruises right through. Student preview. Oh, that was the last one. I didn't start it from the beginning. So we'll go back here. Let's go back. In preview. I'm going to save it real quick. Until it's Friday. Seems like the system's having a little bit of problems too. It's on Friday. This is a bigger. I probably should have picked a better file to load up because all the images on this one are making it a little slow. Very slow. Should load up here in a second though. Also, why I'm kind of waiting. Again, I like this because it jazzes up PowerPoints. We can get a little PowerPoint heavy, especially if you do a content area like social studies, science, even math, English. We like to look at concepts. You can just get that data. And like I say, you can download all this. There's 3 dots up there and it just says PDF download after you get done the lesson. Students can get a code and they just type in the code when they go through it. It is a very, very neat thing. I'll have a video up if you want to check a more deep dive. But that's what you need to do for me. And see if this actually loads up here in a second. My goodness gracious, how slow can it be? While it's doing that, I'm going to go ahead and pull up our next one. Oh, by the way, well, I should say this. If you're more familiar, I know sometimes people come in familiar with things or you go to different districts and you know they use it. You are welcome to try Pear Deck, which is kind of more aligned with Google. I have used Pear Deck. I like Pear Deck. I'm not as familiar with it, or I would even dare to say an expert on it. But if you want to give that a whirl, that's fine. I would definitely say for this assignment, definitely use either Pear Deck or Nearpod. The Prezi and stuff, you can't really add this type of stuff. So we'll go there. And now you want to hit this again. I think it's kind of jammed up a little bit. Did it do it? Yep, it did it. So just to kind of show you, there's everything's in there, and it'll be in my library. You can of course change the names and stuff like that. That's froze. Sorry. Let me just click in. Edit. See if it saves. It's not letting me save it. That's why. I'm not going to lose sleep over it because it's just slow right now. All right. Let's see if it took it that time. It did. It did. Awesome. All right. Just to show you the preview real quick. And there's my poll. That's the question. Just click. Boom. Boom. And then you get the data. That's it. That's the Nearpod. Again, do not do anything that you don't have to do any of the add-ons right now. And I don't know if I have, you can export them. You can also do things where we're not kind of getting in this, but you can do student pace. Say you're going to be gone. A lot of people I know use these as sub plans because students all have Chromebooks, or most students, usually most schools are one-to-one now. You can do student pace, or you can do it as a presentation. The student pace one just means they sit there. A lot of people did them when the pandemic was going on. You could just go through and have students do assignments and answer questions if they went through, embedded videos, things like that. So mess around with it. Nearpod, very cool. All right, next thing we're going to look at is another thing that you can actually assign as homework. It's almost the form of flipped instruction. This is another one of those ones where I'm going to, hopefully no one's going to like throw anything at the screen. I know the websites sometimes are the trickiest ones, and I butchered a little bit of that because I was having a storm with the lecture on the last video. But Edpuzzle, most people seem to really love Edpuzzle or hate Edpuzzle. It is a little clunky to navigate. I am a fan of it. Hopefully I have some space on here because I've been using it a lot lately, to be honest. So we'll find out. I've got to check before I record it. But if you go to edpuzzle.com, and just hit login, I'm the teacher. And I'm going to sign in with my Google and see if it'll work. Well, it should work. It's just making the new thing video. So, and I think, there we go. So you'll come to this. Now here's what's cool about Edpuzzle. Edpuzzle is something where you can find videos most of the time on YouTube. I would assume it's where most people find them. And you can have students watch the videos and they have questions in them. So for example, I'm going to show my social studies bias here a little bit. Let's look up, okay. And if you look, I'm not going to show you all, we're not going to watch the whole video, but just to kind of show you, as you can see, this person's already added multiple choice questions. They did a crash course. And
hi, I'm John Green. This is Crash Course World History, and today we're going to talk about World War I, the so-called Great War. World War I wasn't the most destructive war or the first total war, and it certainly wasn't, despite its billing the war to end all wars, but it was the war to change all wars. World War I changed our outlook. It normalized cynicism and irony, which I think you'll agree are the dominant lenses for describing our world today. Basically, I'd argue that World War I helped make possible everything from The Simpsons to intentionally Most people think of World War I as a tragedy because it didn't need to happen and it didn't accomplish much except for creating social and economic conditions that made World War II possible. So when we're talking...
Okay, and then you see there's a questionnaire and students have to answer that question. Again, you get these reports and things like that. You do not have to just use multiple choice. You can do open-ended questions. You can actually just put notes. You can also set it up where students can't skip ahead and just try to answer the questions. They have to watch the whole video. So let's see, just submit it. And then again, you get this score. You get, when the students register, their names will be on there and you get a grateful. So what I would like to show you though, again, there'll be a video up for this, but let's do this. All right. Add content, discover video content, upload video. Again, you can upload it. You can record videos too. I'm sorry, I should have added that if you want to do a lecture and have students actually comment on it, that is also fine. All right. So you can see I have a bunch of stuff that I'm hoping I do have 2 of those. So I think we should be okay. I think we'll go on there. Let's see. Delete that one. I know. All right. What we're going to do is this. Let's find a question. Let's just do search and see if there's a video. There's a lot of videos. As you can see, it shows me ones that are here already. You can also do it this way. You can go out to YouTube. Scared to see what's on here because my son looks at stuff all the time. Yes, like as you can see, but that's okay. Nothing too bad. Whoops, why did I take YouTube on there? World War One. And let's see what we get. All right, oversimplified. So I'm going to click this. And now
The world of 1914.
I'm going to click stop that. I'm going to copy. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to paste my YouTube video. And search. Got it. Okay, now, as you can see, I always think that's a little easier. If you watch the video, they may have you do it a different way. But as you can see, you can edit the video. I would like you to kind of edit it just to give it a little bit of a trial run. Because when you do EdTPA way down the line, I think for most of you, you do have to do a little bit of video editing. But as you can look here, you can cut the video, very simple. I want you to kind of cut it down to about.
The smell. It's insane that millions of soldiers put up with it.
There you go. You just get your little hand. I'd like you to keep it at around 3 minutes. So we'll make it at 2 or something.
Push on through Belgium.
Okay. Now, next thing, I'm going to close that out. You can do voiceover, and you can actually say things if you want. You can cut, or you can do questions. I'm going to do a question. And, I could say, how did, of course, you want to make them related to the video. How did start? And you could say, it's actually called name, but we'll say it's an acronym, but we're not teaching it. Or we could say name. I don't know what that means, but this is the right answer. You can save it, and it will embed it right there. You can pick where you want the question, and I probably should have said that. That is at the very end. You can put it here.
With help from
I can also do this. Please note the two sides of one and yep. See, there's something there, and then that's it. We're just going to finish it. And as we go back in, you can see that video is there. And I would like to make it public. You do need to make it public. That's up here or private. It doesn't need to be public. And I think that should do it. You can share it and share preview. All you need to do after you make your thing is copy the link and submit it. And I'll check it out. That's it. You just need to add those things in there. Hopefully that was a little straightforward, I know, but you can get it. But basically what you need to do, let's go back to the beginning. Felt like that went too smooth sometimes for Edpuzzle for me. You need to find a video. You need to post it in there. I would recommend doing YouTube. You're going to post it. You're going to search. It should take you here to edit it. You're going to cut it down to about 2 to 3 minutes. And you're going to insert some things. It can be questions. It can be voiceovers. It can be whatever. Put them on there. That should be your Edpuzzle. Let's make sure we're not missing anything. It can be a Khan Academy, crash course, whatever. I said 2 to 5 minutes. 5 minutes is fine. That's what I have on the assignment. I need to fix that real quick because Sakai is gone. I still catch those once in a while. If you don't know what that is, that's our old bright space basically. Under Ed Puzzle assignment. And I should say, if you do have any problems, make sure if you can't get something posted, just email it to me. The other thing is this. Make sure you have 5 different things. It can be voiceovers, audio notes, quizzes. And when I mean different things, I mean different questions or things. If you want to just do 5 questions, that's fine. If you want to do 5 voiceovers, that's fine. If you want to do 5 notes, that's fine. If you want to do 3 questions and 2 notes, that's fine. That's all good. They just need to be different things. I don't want the same question 5 times. So you just add those in there, and it just says it's going to be 5 quizzes, 5 audio notes, whatever. That's the second thing you need to do, Ed Puzzle. QR codes. It's an oldie but a goodie, and this is one of those things where when I started teaching this class, most people didn't know what a QR code was. Now I think most people do know what a QR code is. I'm gonna go ahead and get out of this real quick if you don't mind. And there's a lot of different ways we can actually do this assignment. A lot of the things that you're actually doing in this class, you can actually share as a QR code. But what I would like you to do is actually use something that you pay for with your Shepherd tuition. So here we go. I'm going to go to Shepherd University. And if you look on this page, there's the email. Most of you have probably done this before. And when you click here, you're going to sign in. And I have a security thing. I never took it off. I guess it's good that it's there, but I always have to like put this code in. And hopefully you'll see what I need right here. Okay, so if you've ever done this, you've probably signed in and seen all this stuff. I don't know if you use it. I use the heck out of mine, but you have access to some of these things on the side. There's Word, there's Excel, there's Forms, there's OneNote. This is all Microsoft stuff. It's basically like on a cloud. So when you save it, it's there. It can be like a living document. It auto saves. It's a very nice thing to have, and it's a good backup. What I want you to do is this. Just to make sure I don't forget anything. Yep. Again, I got that Sakai there. I'm gonna update all these things before I send this out officially to you. When you hit, well, let me just say this. Outlook is your mail. Teams is like Zoom, but not Zoom, which I think most people like Zoom better. I think some people, I have met some Teamsters, but anyway, that's like Zoom. Word is Word. It's, you can type. Excel is Excel. You slot in, a lot of times it's used for data or numbers. PowerPoint's PowerPoint. And you can export all these things if you need to, if you do work in this. OneNote is kind of like a PowerPoint type thing. I'm not going to get into that. You're welcome to check it out. I mean, I'll click it just to show you. But as you can see, it's just like a professional learning opportunities and things like that. So it's another way you can like plan things out. I'm not going to pretend that I'm an expert on OneNote. I have fiddled around with it. I don't know if it's something you'll use in the classrooms too much. This probably your email will be free, but you will probably maybe also use this. I don't know if your schools will have Microsoft. They'll probably have Google if they have anything, but this kind of translates to both things. If you go to if you click the forms, there's something up here that says new quiz or new form. I don't care which one you do. They both work for this. I'm going to do the quiz. You're going to go there. And you can make up whatever. Again, make this content oriented. You can kind of stay on that theme. I kind of didn't really say this, but if you're doing your Nearpod on World War I, maybe do your Ed Puzzle on World War I, do your quiz or your forms on World War I. It'll help you with the lesson plan brainstorming down the road. It's not a requirement, but I think it might because that needs to be a little more uniform. But if you go here and you type in World War I, and we're just going to add 5 questions. That's really all I want you to do. Whoops, choice. There we go. Name to cyclical. And I will say, well, actually, select. Let's do select. So yeah, you can do that. Select one. Country, right? Click it and then put US and the answer is that. Then you add another one. Just, you can do open-ended, you can do other things like that. You can do ratings. I don't care what you do. That's all good. All right. Now we have that there. Now you want to collect responses. That's what I want you to see. And as you see, you can get all, this is all nice. Anyone can respond. That's what I want you to collect. Click. I want you to click anyone can respond just because it makes it easier. I'm in the network, so it should let me, but collect that. I'm going to go back, collect responses, click anyone can respond. And you can look up here. There's a link. That's nice. I don't want the link. There's an invitation. I don't want the invitation. I want the QR code. So if you do this, there's a QR code. When you send that to me, I'll be able to hold my phone up and check out your forms. You can download it and just send it, and that should work. And as you can see, boom, I just downloaded it. That's what you're going to want to submit. That's it. That's all it is for QR code. I just want you to get used to QR codes. I've seen some teachers do some interesting creative stuff with QR codes where they might have something like Google Forms or Microsoft Forms up being projected, and students have a Chromebook or they have iPads and they can hold the iPads up more specifically with the camera on it. It just takes them to the quiz and they can click on there. There are other QR codes and all these things. I think Flipgrid uses them. I'm pretty sure Nearpod and Edpuzzle also have them if you want to send those instead. I just want you to get used to, again, to be able to make a QR code just in case you never have. I walk around Shepherd all the time and I see QR codes up on flyers now, handouts. So if you want to know how to make one, that's how you do it. So that's the third technology. And last but not least is the Flipgrid. Flipgrid's another one of these technologies that pre-pandemic, I don't think anyone was using. Pandemic, everyone went Flipgrid crazy. I will say Flipgrid seems to be updating all the time, and every time I go in there, it seems to be up to date, or you got to do different things to it. I think it's pretty simplistic. I think it's a little better now, but here's what you're going to do. First thing, you're going to go in there. There's directions on getting started in Flipgrid. You're going to create a Flipgrid again on a topic of your choice in your content area. Once you go in there and you have your group established, oh, look, I have main causes of World War I. By the way, that's militarism, alliance system, imperialism, and nationalism, in case you were wondering. You're going to type and record directions for an assignment in Flipgrid. So let me do this. I am just going to go back, actually, if you don't mind, so I don't forget to do it. I'm just going to go ahead and delete this so it's not taking up my space. All right. I can go to Flipgrid. You can see in here all types of cool stuff. Go to flipgrid.com. I'm gonna log in again. You should have your Google. Shouldn't be a problem. All right, as you can see, we've used this now. I'm not worried about flipping back to school right now. A lot of stuff going on here. And as you can see, other people have shared a lot with me over the years. You're going to create a group. We're just going to do all ages. And we're going to do sorry, I put 380. Sorry, I can't do it. Let's do that. We'll do that background. And should create. Nice thing about Flipgrid, this is another one where you can actually send stuff to people. And there it goes. You can do an invite link. That's where you can just do it, share it. It's fine. You can actually embed this in your Google Classrooms, and I haven't made that point shame on me. A lot of these things like Nearpods, and we're gonna do Wakelet, Flipgrid, Edpuzzle. You can embed those in your Google Classrooms if you're building one. I thought about actually having you make a Google Classroom and just start embedding things, but not being live, I thought that might cause some problems. So I chickened out a little bit. But you can send the link there if you want, because I can get everything. But as you can see, there's different things. There's weekly check-in. It's actually got a lot of this already made. This is something I think is a little better. But as you see, you just click this. There should be a camera that comes up. We're going to allow it. And I think because of the camera on Zoom, it's not going to let me do it. You're just going to record a video lesson. You're going to click it right there. And you're just going to do a welcome or an instructional thing for the class, or just give instructions like, hey, welcome to social studies for 2023, 2024. We have a lot of work to do. Flipgrid is an assignment that we're going to Flipgrid is a technology that we're going to use. I want you to record a short video and tell me everything you know about World War I in less than 2 minutes. That's the instructions for the students, not for you. You're going to save it, and it should be right there. That'll be it. And then that's your thing. You can record here. I just want to see something recorded. You can also type in space. You can do different things. Let me go in here real quick. So you can see, you can edit topic. I would like you to give a little bit, please, basically what you're saying in the video. Make sure you type it into if you would. But it's all should be there. This is a lot easier than it used to be for Flipgrid, but just create the group and just need to edit one of these things and record something. And that's what I need to see. Flipgrid again, cool tools, especially with the flipped instructional practices. I think that was the main things I wanted you to do. Yeah, just basically create a topic in there. And topics now are kind of created already. You can edit the names if you want. You share this to me. Everything is due on the 6th. Is it the 16th? Yes, I'm sorry. I'm still looking at that old calendar. That is it. Those are the 4 things. You also do need to do blog too. So just pick one of these 4 and write a short blog. You do not need to do it on all of them. And there is a discussion on Tech Like a Pirate. And kind of the things that he talks about, whether teachers why some teachers are scared to have lessons that fail. I will tell you, I have lessons that failed from the first day I taught to probably today. There are probably things that I would like to redo on this video, which I know there are. You learn from, especially when you do live instruction. That's all part of the learning process. We remember our failures probably much more than we remember our successes. So that's a good thing, bad thing. But that's a whole discussion for another day. It's probably more ed psych. So that's that. Do not forget the Apple certification. I just noticed, do I have that posted? I will make sure there should be a little sub one on here. I'll make sure that that's posted by the time you're watching this video. I should have had that up for you to check out. It's just got the Apple links. If you haven't already seen it, I know that was in the original video. And actually, I think it's even on this one. It's on week 4. But also, lesson plan brainstorm assignment is here if you want to start checking that out. It's not due for a few weeks. It's actually a specific assignment that's due 1 week. And the research assignment, again, everything is posted. I think I got a little rushed last week. If you do need to check out the overview of all that, it is there. I kind of, I have something on here about a lit review. You are not required to do it. I don't know if anyone's planning on going for their doctorate after they get done their master's. And if you do write a dissertation, chapter 2 is a literature review, and it's just kind of a research. It's a review of the literature you're doing for your research. You're welcome to give it a shot. I have a little bit of an overview there, and I can send you some. But by and large, most people just like to do the research paper. Don't forget, it needs to be an APA format. If you do not know what APA format is, I will make sure to post the link under here because I noticed it's not there. Actually, why don't I just do that so I don't forget? APA. Purdue OWL is always great. Let's just do that. I think it gives you more. Let me do this. APA Purdue OWL. And I know you probably don't want to watch me do this, and you don't have to because I'm going to wrap up right after this. But I want to make sure that it's there so I don't forget to do it, because I have a habit of sometimes saying I'll do something and I don't do it. Not that I mean not to do it. Whatever. Click. So that's there too, if you need help with any citations. It's pretty straightforward. I don't think it's anything too heavy. I do give it a glance, I mean, more than a glance with the Purdue OWL, I'm sorry, APA, to make sure that you're actually following the steps, and also, again, make sure you have your bibliography page and your citations especially set up correctly. With that being said, that should do it for this week. I hope everyone has a great weekend. Work has been great so far. Don't forget to email if you have any questions. If you have any problems with any of the assignments, I'm not going anywhere. I'm kind of floating around Shepherdstown, Martinsburg. I can definitely meet anyone down here on campus if we need to one day, or we can Zoom or whatever. So that being said, I'm going to sign off and tell everyone have a great week. Again, contact if you have any problems. And I'll talk to you later.